This is the Goblin King, the Raj of Resentment, the Emperor of Exasperation, the Bishop of Bitterness, welcoming you back to another weekly rant. This week's madness comes from a story that I was initially going to cover on this week's Pop Culture Breakdown, because it deals directly with pop culture. However, this week's video was so bloated that I just didn't think it prudent to cram yet more into it. Plus, this way I can go on a long format rant rather than a small minuscule rant and a blurb. This week's rant also, in many ways, comes on the heels of the two previous rants I did speaking as to the media bias and the shallow superficial con that is identity politics. This week, Variety did a red carpet interview with the stars of that woke boring shitfest that even the show critics can't stand, The Eternals. I saw that shit and immediately I cringed. Then I got angry. This shallow garbage message was being shilled throughout the video, from the interviewer and seriously, what the fuck is up with that dude's voice? To every celebrity, writer, and production staff member they interviewed. All they could say about the movie is how diverse it was. That was it. Seriously, every single person. All they spoke of was diversity and inclusion, diversity and inclusion. Like all they were doing was spreading propaganda, which they were. Like, I'm all for diversity in film and all that, as long as it's not forced box-checking PC bullshit. Fake, in other words. I'm all for characters of non-white ethnic groups. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I refuse, flat out, to say POC. I will not do it. It's a racist fucking term that I won't use. Legit, it's just colored people backwards. Like Latinx. Won't use that either. But, like I said, true diversity of film, television, books, etc., I'm all for it. If you have a group of characters, for instance, that all come from the south side of Chicago, or Baltimore, or Harlem, I'm not going to be upset when a majority, or all of them, are black. Just not going to happen. Same thing with South LA. It's not going to surprise me if a lot of the characters are Latino. Hell, any big city, to be honest. I'm not going to be surprised or upset if there's a truly diverse cast of people. These things are natural and expected. By that same token, however, if you're setting a story in northern New Mexico, for instance, and you have 3 black characters, 1 white, 1 Hispanic, and no natives, I'm not going to buy that. I know the general ethnic makeup of any place outside of Santa Fe or Albuquerque. Very few black people, because black people are smart enough to stay out of that shithole. Lots of dumbass white people, Hispanic people, and either Utes or Navajos. Because only white people are dumb enough to think shitholes like the Southwest are desirable locations to live. At least that was always my view on that one. Yes, I was unwillingly forced to live in that area for a long time. Again, I'm intimately familiar with it, and I can say what I want about it. Wow, that was a tangent. My point being, diversity should make sense based upon the setting. It should never be the end-all be-all of any work, especially an artistic work. It just doesn't make fucking sense. I'm not going over to the creator of Squid Game and going, why the fuck you got all these Korean people in this movie set in Korea? Where are all the black and Hispanic people? Why aren't you more diverse and global, damn it? Because I use my adult brain to practice a thing called logic. Logic dictates that not every type of person lives everywhere, and that even different places in the United States have different ethnic makeups. It should make sense. You set a movie in ancient Egypt, there shouldn't be an all-white or even any white cast members. Some black cast members make sense because Nubia was their southern neighbor, but not all black. You want to know the ethnic makeup of ancient Egypt? All you have to do is look at the current ethnic makeup of Egypt and subtract any white people. The Egyptians never fucking went anywhere. I don't know why the fuck people continue to think that. They just got conquered. But that's another rant for another time. An old, long-burning rant. Fucking gods, I keep going off on tangents. Stay focused. Sorry about that. So, yeah, this entire video was basically just a bunch of woke virtue signaling garbage. However, the bit that really got my anger boiling was this bit. This bit with this dude, Haas Schleiman. First of all, who the fuck even is this guy? Second of all, the question he was asked was complete and utter woke bait. Being a gay man in this town. Seriously, a gay man in LA? That's only a slightly longer reach than asking about being a gay man in San Francisco, which itself is about as much of a reach as me picking up my water to take a drink or move my mouse. I mean, this dude is a gay man in LA. It's not like he's a gay man in a hardline fundamentalist Christian town in Alabama. Dear goddess, calm your tits, bitch. Then there's this dude's answer. I mean, just listen to this shit.
Married to a gay superhero with a child. What does that mean to you as a gay man, a gay actor in this town, getting to do that in a Marvel movie?
I wish I had that when I was a kid growing up to see this. My God, like I wish. And so, can you imagine how many lives this is going to be saving? Kids, you know, young queer folk who are either being bullied, committing suicide, not seeing themselves being represented, and now they get to see this. Like, we're both people of color, and to be part of this and queer representing that is so huge. We're talking Marvel and Disney could not be any more global. There's nothing more global than that.
Fucking gods. I don't think even George fucking Clooney circa the 2006 Oscars could have summoned more fucking smug than this motherfucker right here. I mean, literally saving lives? Who the fuck does this bitch think he's kidding? Hell, who does he think he is? Seeing themselves on screen. Once again, this bullshit goes right back around to what I was just going off on tangents about before, and what I spoke of 2 weeks ago with that rant. Anybody can see themselves in anybody. All it takes is a little bit of that human emotion we plebs like to call empathy. As long as you build up a decent character, it doesn't matter what the fuck they look like or who the fuck they sleep with or anything else. The insane popularity of shows like Squid Game fucking prove this shit over and over. Also, your shitty fucking movie isn't going to be saving any lives, motherfucker. Pull your head out of your ass, get the fuck over yourself, grow the fuck up, bitch. Okay, so I think that's really all I can say on this subject. If I keep going, I'll just wind up saying the exact same shit over and over again, or going off on more tangents. So I'll go ahead and end it here. If you like what I'm doing, you know what buttons to hit. Thank you for doing so. I'll see you on Wednesday with another movie review. Lates.
この恨み、地獄へ流します。